If you're starting your own business and creating an LLC, do not name it after a company that already exists. This could create additional fees down the line, additional forms you have to file, and you do not want to have to deal with any of that. If you're new to my videos, my name is Max. I'm a corporate attorney, and I'm the owner of the school community Easy Startup that teaches new and aspiring business owners step-by-step how to create their own LLC. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to do an LLC name search or business entity search in the state of wherever you're forming your own company. So that being said, let's just dive right into my computer and I will show you guys how to do a business entity search. And so this is the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions website for the Secretary of State for the state of Wisconsin. And any state that you're going to form your LLC in, you can perform a business entity search by going to your state's Secretary of State website and looking for something similar to what I'm going to show you in Wisconsin. I'll show you a couple other state examples just to kind of be clear on how the process works. So what we're going to do when we're on the Secretary of State website is look for something that has to do with business services. You might see a businesses tab or business services, business entities, something like that. Click on that, link or click down or whatever. And a lot of Secretary of States are going to have a business entity search, right? Super easy to look up and find. So once you get to a page like this, you can put in whatever you're thinking of calling your business. And I'm just going to do something super generic to show you guys what a lot of results looks like. So if you put in the name that you're thinking of using and you see a bunch of different results, you can scroll through. If there's something that's exactly the same, you definitely cannot use it. If there's something that's extremely similar, you might want to rethink what you're going to name your business. But if you scroll and see the status or status date, a lot of Secretary of State websites will have this for the different business entities. You can see that some of them are administratively dissolved, are restored to good standing, are organized. If something is restored to good standing or organized, you definitely do not want to name your company something that's the same or similar because it could conflict. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it could result in the state asking you to change your name or file forms that, that change the name of your company, which is just additional fees that you guys don't want to pay. So if you see something in any search, really, if you see something that's, materially similar or is exactly the same as what you're thinking of naming your company, try to think of something a little more different, be a little creative, name your company something that's more personal to you or the services you provide, because what you really want to happen is to search your name and not see anything like remotely similar or close to what you're thinking of naming your company. So just to give you guys an example, as I said, I am the owner of Easy Startup. And when I search it, you're just going to see my entity, right? So when I did my business search prior to creating my company, Easy Startup, right? If you go in there, there's me. There was no search results. So that's ideally what you want to see if you search whatever you're thinking of calling it. So you have something like, right, Cranky, and I'll be Creative Cranky Consulting. So nothing returned, right? So if I wanted to create a company called Cranky Consulting, then I would be totally fine because there's no search results that match what I search. So I know I'd be good to go. And it's that easy. So just to give you guys an example of how to do it in a different state, you can also use Google. So if I, for example, look up Virginia business entity search, and that's what I would do. I would just search whatever state you're thinking of filming in, and then searching that state plus business search, and you should get where you need to go. Look at the results, make sure that you're clicking on something that's a .gov or something that looks official, right? Like this second one, secretaryofstate.com. That's not a .gov. It doesn't look really official. That's probably not the system that you want to use. You want to go directly to your state's Secretary of State. So I'm going to click on this first one, and it looks pretty official. If you want to be, super clear, or if you want to dig a little deeper and make sure you're on the right website, you could click on like a contact us, and hopefully something pops up like this, right? State Corporation Commission, the official website of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Seems pretty official to me, so we can go ahead and do our business search with this if you were going to do it for Virginia. Some states have a drop down similar to this where you can try to look up an exact match. I usually just go with like a starts with or contains, because you want to make sure that it's returning results for things that are also similar to what you're searching and not just the exact search. If you want to look up the exact one, that's fine, but I would recommend doing the just contains or starts with. And then I'm doing a super generic one, so it might take a little time. So I will, if I need to, I'll skip ahead and I will show you guys the results once this loads. All right, so I didn't change anything from what you guys just saw before. These are all the results for ABC Corp in Virginia. Again, I just did contain, so it's going to go through and show me something that's super similar to ABC Corp. And as was in Wisconsin, right, you can see that there's the status. So inactive, active, same as organized, whatever, right? So if you're in Virginia, you want to avoid ones, especially ones that are active. If it's something is inactive, then you could maybe get away with doing something similar. But typically, if something is inactive, the business owner can potentially revive that company under that same filing. So that's, again, not the same in every state, but there's a potential that they could do it. So I would still avoid anything that's in the search results. And so this even goes into a little bit more detail in the Wisconsin realm, right? You can see the entity type. It's either a corporation. A lot of these are corporations, it looks like. Well, specifically because I looked up the corp, right, as opposed to an LLC. But so right here, there's probably, you could look up LLCs, and LLCs would pop up. The registered agent names you would pop up, and the principal office address. So yes, all very useful information. And I'm actually going to show you guys something that I know is going to happen in California. So if you are in the state of California, you want to search business entities, the process is going to be very similar, right? You're going to go, you can Google it. This was a .gov, so it looks like the right website. Again, looks very official, so I'm going to run with it right here. Super obvious business search, right? You click on it. I'm getting to this biz file, which I will say is it's a legit online like resource for Secretary of States to use. So it's going to make you create an account in order to do a free business search. So once you go in here, it's not uncommon to, even if it's not biz file, the Secretary of State might make you create an account. And if you're serious about forming your LLC, you're going to want to use an email where you're actually going to receive emails, because they will likely take this email or whatever information you give them in creating an account. And when you need to file your annual report, or if they need to send you important information from the Secretary of State, they're going to do it to that email. So when you're creating your account, make sure that you put in an email that you're actually going to like check and use and see emails that get sent to you. So, but that is just a formality step for a lot of states, but don't be afraid to create an account in order to do what you need to do in order to do the business entity search. Because again, you really, really want to make sure that the name that you are thinking of using isn't taken. So that is really it though. And again, it's going to be the same process for a lot of different states, or it's going to be very similar. So it's a super easy step to do, and it's a good way to avoid duplicative naming of companies, because again, that could result in fees down the line. The Secretary of State might, send you a nastygram, ask you to change your name. So a super, super simple step for you to do if you're going to create an LLC in any state in the US. So I hope you guys found this video super helpful. Again, if you are interested in creating an LLC or want to learn how to create an LLC step-by-step, check out my community. It's called Easy Startup. The link is going to be in the description, also on my page. So again, hope you guys found this useful, and I will see you guys in the next video.